Hi everyone, Dr. Byrne here. Welcome to Revive TV. This month we've been focusing on all things lower back pain, and today is going to be no different. But what we're going to try and do today is dissolve a myth around a potential cause of lower back pain, something that has been given a bad rap, and I believe wrongly so. So let's dive into this week's episode of Revive TV. Okay, so how many of us have heard the saying that sitting is the new smoking? You know, basically the connotation being that it is so bad for us that it's going to be detrimental to our overall health. How many of us have heard that sitting is one of the major causes of our lower back pain, that the fact that we sit too much is going to contribute to our lower back pain? Well, if you're anything like me, and I've used these sayings before and used these terms before, we've heard them often. So today though, I want to dispel this myth. I'm sorry, I'm going to, if you get a charge against that, or it's something that you hold dear to you, but I want to reverse our thinking around what it is we're actually saying. By saying that sitting is bad for our backs or sitting is bad for our health, what are we actually saying? Is it the chair's problem that we have a bad back or our health? So if I say it that way, is the chair a problem for our lower back? We probably all laugh and say, well, it's not the chair's problem. So what is it about sitting that leads us to think or leads us to assert that it is so bad? Well, really what it is the lack of movement that comes with living a sedentary lifestyle. If I sit down in a chair for 5 minutes, that's not a problem. But if I sit in a chair on average 10 hours a day, like most Australians, there becomes a problem. And it's not the sitting that is the problem, it's the lack of movement. Movement is life. We all know that when we exercise and move, we feel better, more alert. So it is sitting that is the challenge. So the body just adapts really well to sitting. Now, like we just become great sitters, or we become awesome sitters if we sit for 10 hours a day. But unfortunately, there are consequences with becoming really awesome sitters. And they are that you will have a decrease in mobility of some parts of your body, in your hips. You're going to have that in your thoracic spine, which is this kind of middle part of our back. And we have it, in our hamstrings, the muscles in the back of our legs become less flexible. So we get this decrease in mobility by becoming sedentary and sitting all day. The other thing we do is we have some muscles that deactivate. And if you've been watching our episodes recently, we've talked a lot about the little paraspinal muscles, little muscles either side of the spine that hold us erect. Our core muscles, we've probably all have heard of those. We probably associate it with our belly or our abdominal muscles. And things like our glutes, our buttock muscles that hold us erect also. When we sit, these muscles deactivate because the chair takes up the function of what those muscles are doing. So the problem is never the sitting, the problem is never the chair, it's what it represents when we sit in it too often, which is this sedentary lifestyle and the consequences that come with that. It's why mostly when we sit, we don't say my back is sore. It's usually when we stand up and start to move over a period of time, we go, oh, I feel really, really stiff. And if you repeat that day after day after day after day, you can then start to associate it going, hang on, every time I sit for too long, I have a lower back pain. Maybe sitting's a problem. Or perhaps it's just the lack of movement that is the real issue. So I'm going to give you 3 things to combat this lower back pain or the potential side effects of sitting for too long. 3 things. Number 1 is we need to move more often. So if you've watched previous episodes, I've talked about moving every 30 minutes. So getting up from your desk or getting up from your chair, wherever you are, and moving every 30 minutes, whether that's just a walk around the office, whether that's, I know some people have a little mini trampoline in their office and they go and bounce up and down on that, whether it's doing some air squats or just doing some back bends or whatever, just to get your spine moving to and allowing these muscles to kind of start to switch on again. The second one is to reverse our posture. There are many exercises we can do to reverse our posture. I just want to explain to you what I mean by that. When we are in a seated position, I'm not going to be able to do this fully because I'm not in a chair, I'm standing, but when we take a seated position, we tend to slouch forward, our head comes forward, and obviously our hips are flexed, so it shortens the muscles that flex our hip. So in that position, we just want to reverse that. So if I'm in this position a lot, basically the opposite of that is to reverse and go into extension. So we call the first one flexion, and we call the second one extension. So you want to take your body into as much extension as possible. There are exercises like getting on a foam roller and lying over it and extending your thoracic spine. We can get our arms back against a wall and get some extension through our spine there. We can do hip flexor stretches. We can activate our glutes, do glute bridges, things of this nature to help reverse what's going on with sitting. There are many great exercises out there. And the third one, which is going to be really obvious to you, and most of us are hopefully doing, is just to exercise a little more. And more regularly, I suppose, is what I want to get at. So that we're not just going, oh, I exercise 3 times a week. We want to be exercising or moving, every day if we can. Some days it might be a walking day. Not every day has to be a training day. It could be a walk, it could be a stretch, a yoga session. It could be lifting weights. And my big thing is if you're going to lift weights, do things that are functional, where we're using multiple joints, and if we can use multiple body parts, if you can do exercise that involve the hips and the legs as well as the shoulders and the arms in one movement, more the better. Because as we do that, different postural muscles have to work to help us stabilize the spine, and we get to reactivate those more quickly and more efficiently. So let's not blame sitting anymore for our lower back pain or potential health causes. Let's think about the fact that it's a lack of movement. Let's reverse our posture, let's move more often, and let's make sure we're exercising. If you go down to the download below, I've got a checklist of 10-point checklist to helping you get a healthy lower back. If you can immediately go there and just check them off and see what you're not doing or what you are doing to one, either prevent it, or two, to help you recover as quickly as you can. Thanks for watching another episode of Revive TV. It's been super informative, I hope, and make sure you take action on the information we've given. Thanks for watching.